Let's move ahead. We have another session, another presentation by the Managing Director of Yeshshree Press Components Private Limited, Aurangabad, none other than Mr. Milind Kank. I'd like to request Mr. Milind Kank, please come forward. Meanwhile, let's look at the AV, please.
Mr. Milind Kank. Mr. Milind Kank is the Managing Director of all companies and firms in the Yeshshree group of companies, having a total turnover of about rupees 700 crores. He has been holding this position for the last 26 years out of his 4-decade-long association with the group. He oversees the group operations located in Varuz, Aurangabad, Baramati and Chakan near Pune, engaged in the manufacturing of stampings and assemblies for automotive companies like Bajaj and Piaggio, engaged in the manufacturing of 2- and 3-wheelers motorcycles, scooters and auto rickshaws and undercarriages for excavators. In particular, Mr. Kank is hands-on in planning, execution and administration. It is his constant endeavor to adopt latest business practices, technology, and to comply with quality standards. A case in point is the recent successful commissioning of an automatic welding line operated by over 50 robots. A commerce graduate from Pune University and aged 61 years old, Mr. Kank is the former president of the Chamber of Marathwada Industries and Agriculture (CMIA), which promotes the growth of industry in the Marathwada region of Maharashtra. Besides, he has been an active CII member. He also drives the group's corporate social responsibility by contributing monetarily and actively participating in various bodies like Aram Society for Autistic Children, Bharatiya Yuva Shakti Trust, where Mr. Kank is a part of the Business Mentors Group for Youths, Arya Chanakya Vidyadham School, which offers schooling from grade 5 to 10 for both day and residential scholars.
So the gentlemen and ladies, please put your hands together for such an amazing personality between us, Mr. Milind Kank. Now I request.
ऐकायला येते? So thank you Wescon 22 and IMF. अंबाबाईचा थोडं जरा जेवायच्या आधी थोडी चेतना यायला पाहिजे आपल्याला. I am going to present our journey towards digitalization, and I have learned a lot from in the morning and understood a couple of mistakes we have been doing, which we would like to correct in days to come. I'll try to finish it by 2 o'clock before we break for lunch, or maybe 5 minutes to that. So ours is a mid-sized company. We are established in 1997. Our core processes are stamping, welding, and assemblies. We call it like cutting, bending, and welding for the tubular and sheet metal parts. Of course, we have certifications which are necessary by all the OEMs like IITF, OSHAs, etc. And we have been practicing TPM under OEM's cluster for last many years. So this is a group overview. We have 2 divisions. One is automotive component division, wherein most of our business come from that area. And we have one engineering vertical, wherein we make some engineering products. I will take you to product line next slides. So these are the kind of products what we make. Basically, on the right-hand side, you will find all 3-wheeler auto rickshaw bodies we make in very high number. You would see the capacity per day, which is 1,500 bodies per day. One body weighs around 55 kgs. And out of the 3 models what you are seeing here, one of the model at the center is engineered by Yeshshree and offered to OEM because OEM did not have the kind of model in those days. And the cycle time in which these bodies are produced is just 60 seconds. So 1 minute, one body is produced, and we are currently using almost 50 robots to produce this body. On the left-hand side, we have smaller parts to what we make, which are for the motorcycles. We call it as a S category, which means stands, steps, and brake pedals, side stands, etc. Those products are manufactured at the rate of 7,000 products per day, and this all supplied on just-in-time basis. Again, the cycle time is close to 60 seconds for production of all this. Our OEM keeps only 2 hours inventory on for the products on left-hand side, that is motorcycle parts, and for the rickshaw bodies, they are keeping half-day inventory. So we have to run customers' line on just-in-time basis. So you would understand what kind of complexity in manufacturing processes we are currently operating with. In engineering products, we have got on the left-hand side, we make the undercarriages for the excavators. This is the acquisition we had done from L&T. And on right-hand side, when my son joined, we did the first import substitution for the track systems, which we developed for Indian Army. We supplied to Bharat Electronics, first successful Indian company to do the import substitution. So these are the customer base, and we are working for future customers like railways and other stuff. In engineering products, when we started our, I must give you one story here. It is a story of a failure. We did our motorcycle parts, tubular component assembly, welding automation. I'll just take you back to this slide. You would see this main stand of the motorcycle. We did the first automation in year 2002. It's a robotic welding, wherein we could not achieve this 3-dimensional geometry on the mechanical pressing. Generally, globally, people do it on a laser cutting. So we couldn't do it. We scrapped the welding cells and the robots in 2005. So that is the first failure. But having failed, we thought it appropriate that we develop some technology which will give the consistent joinery for the tubular applications. So we developed this technology, which is called as a scooping technology. When you are joined like this 3D joint, it looks like an ice cream scoop, this kind of scoop. So we call it as a scooping technology. We patented it, and we have sold these machines to almost all the OEMs in the country, wherein they are benefited for their automation journey. So this is one of the, and this need came out of our failure. I must tell you, it took 2 years for us to develop this process, but we have been participating in IMTEX with these machines. So this is the journey from 1987 we started to 2022. We have almost 8 plants. If you see at the top, its approach is top down. And when we are marching towards, we are in 22, the approach is bottom up. Top down is generally strategy, bottom up is compliance. But most of the times, we struggle to get the data on what is happening around on everywhere, whether it is a shop floor or it is office, accounts, whatever it is. So we took certain, these are the challenges faced. Everybody must have faced these challenges. These on manufacturing operations, the challenges of low productivity, low quality, limited knowledge sharing, high cost, and lack of control. We had huge inventories piled up in once upon a time because of there was lack of controls. So how to overcome this? We follow this 4M and 1T strategy: man, machine, material, method, and tool. So on man side, availability is always a challenge, repeatability is a challenge, rising wages is a challenge. On machine side, again, availability, breakdowns, energy, cycle times are the challenge. On material, again, availability, inventory, cost, etc. is a challenge. And tool, again, the same challenges. So what we decided? We decided to go for a connected, automated, digitized factory. Okay? We have been talking on the data, we have been talking on the digitization, but For digitization, you need to have some automation, automation in manufacturing processes. So we have done in 2 phases, phase 1 automation, phase 1 digitization, phase 2 connectivity and digitization. We'll just look through what we have done. So in phase 1 automation, on the left-hand side, you would see these were 1,500 bodies we were making with 700 labor, and almost 7,000 motorcycle stands were made with 225 labor, wherein we have been welding 15 kilometers of welding length every day, and almost 1 million spots every day. That is our content. So we did the robotic automation on both the lines. So if you see the results, for the same quantum, the labor count per day before was 700, after is 455. Skill required as 100%. So we de-skill the operations by putting robots in place, because consistency of getting the skilled operator is the issue. So what we thought of that, let's de-skill the operations and putting the processes by the robots. So all spot welding, all arc welding is done by robots now, almost more than 90%. So this is the result. Skill required came down from 100% to 5%. Then overall equipment efficiency, OE, went from 70% to 85%. One would imagine, why only 85% with automation? Automation is not a fast process, it is a slow process to start with. We have to dive very deep into all the topics of automation to achieve this kind of OE also, because we are talking of an assembly line which consists of 55 robots, 20 turntables, and 55 kg of material getting transferred from one station to another station in 60 seconds. So with this, achieving 85% was a challenge. We started with 50%, and in 6 months of time, we reached to 85%. Within that, we killed 4,000 points, wherein there was an issue with the process. So process modification was required to achieve the consistency. So this is the improvement in the same, for the same in the matrix graph form. You would see a lot of benefits in terms of OE, etc. So automation in administration process, we'll shift to this. So there was always a challenge. In morning, we are employing almost 2,500 people and 9 plants. Every plant will say, I have shortage of maybe 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, this skill set, that skill set. Everybody is talking different language. Everybody is talking कि मुझे इतने आदमी चाहिए थे उतने ही मिले, etc., etc. So we have built this our own software which encompasses all the requirements of man-related activities. Let it be skill, let it be quantity, let it be work area, etc., etc. So including our labor contractor billing, everything is taken care in this software. So we don't get anything from our contractors. We are working with 100% with contract labor. We don't have any permanent manforce. We have only staff and contract labor wherein we are dealing with this. And while doing this, we did a lot of things like your organization structure, your vacant positions, critical positions, etc., etc., can be seen from the software itself. So then we have developed other systems on the right-hand side, like we developed daily work management. Then we did the notifications every day, like your birthdays or whatever notifications, meetings, etc., and leaves, etc. So in our company, we have got a unique concept of leave sanction. If somebody wants to apply for the leave, he has to just put a request on the app. His next level has to approve or reject it within 48 hours. If it is not either approved or rejected, it is deemed approved. So otherwise people struggle for other areas they are going to go on listen. So small things are already done. Then we have done a lot of utilities are connected to this software. Our monthly electricity bills we get through this software. We have raised a purchase order on state electricity board. Based on that, we pass their monthly bills. Otherwise, generally it was earlier accounting. Now it is from accounting to planning and control. We got a lot of insights from those things, because we pay almost crore of rupee electricity bill per month at a group level. So this was the earlier scenario. People used to come at the gate, reporting was done, so many people in, etc., but production is not, couldn't start. So we did, after, we started doing the attendance at the work cell. All the work cell, we have put our coding system, whatever is required. So in that work cell, that skill set of people, if whether it is available, so then their attendance would start from that. Their wages would start from that. And in this journey, we have saved lakhs of rupees every month. Because people used to come at 7, go to toilet, and production will not start. So imagine a situation, 2,000 people, 2 minutes, 5 minutes less, how much money we pay? And because no customer is going to pay for all of these inefficiencies. So this is the after implementation of this system. Then we implemented the scheduling software in the company. We are running a stamping shop. We have got 20 heavy-duty presses. We consume close to 2,500 tons of steel every month, and almost 80,000 to 1 lakh strokes, and with 45 tool changes required. So this scheduling software helped us in machine loading. What time machine is to be loaded, with which tool. And then what is the tool movement report, which tool is required to be present at what location, which raw material is required, what kind of scrap is going to get generated, what kind of finished goods are going to get ready, what time. So it's all, we call it a typical PDCA cycle. It's a planning doing. So this is a scheduling software. This gives a lot of insights to the shop floor people, what is going to happen when. So many things are predictable. In a stamping shop, you must have seen, you need a lot of cranes. We have 3 cranes. Still people are saying crane not available, crane not available, crane not available. So there was a paper in the hands of crane operator, what kind of tool is to be loaded on which machine, what kind of material is going to be lifted from which area, etc. So this scheduling software gives us the lot of benefits, right from your tool movement, material movement, scrap movement, everything. So this plan was actual, this is finished goods movement. So this is the overall journey what we started. In 1997 we started with Tally. Most of us must have started with Tally. We implemented first ERP system with help of Mukund in 2002. We developed it a lot. And in 2008 we are on SAP. Very happy to share. SAP is a very stable software and we are making maximum use of it. All the 4 modules we are using, there is MMPP, SD, FI, and CO. What we have done now, next is, we are keeping SAP as a core of it. So all master data will be controlled and managed through SAP. So let it be your bill of materials, let it be your equipment, let it be your machines, whatever. So it being a very stable software, we can rely on it. So we are going to keep SAP at its core, and rest of all the softwares, whatever we are building or we are going to use, will be talking to SAP on real-time basis. So we have done a lot of system interlocks in SAP, like sale customer invoices linked to scrap invoicing. In our company, we generate a lot of scrap. So if the scrap is not moved out of the company, and there is scrap available in the system, my raw material invoicing would stop. So there is a linkage in between your material. So good material will not come unless the scrap is removed from the system and system is cleaned to get that much credit available. Then all this budgeting is done. Then in bottom, a lot of minimum, maximum. It helped us to change our ITR, that is inventory turn ratio, from 20 to 40 almost. So it's a double. So that gives a lot of benefit from our working capital, went down from 1.2% of our sales to just 0.6% today in last 10 years. So it is really beneficial to use this kind of systems. So on documentation side, we did a lot of automation on like automatic bill passing, QR code, barcoding, etc. We used to have 20 people to deal with 650 documents. Now we are doing it with 4. So we ship around 1 lakh components every day. So from 9 plants. So loading slips were required, quantity required, etc., etc. So we developed our own system wherein the entire data is coming in our software, and SAP is used only for the invoicing purpose. So taking care of the good part of SAP, our parallel systems are, we are developed these systems. So on method side, on confirmation of material receipt, information of material rejection, information to vendor, account ledger, reconciliation, manpower, wages, etc. 10 years ago, our audit report was having 25 pages. Lot of non-conformances in audit. That this percentage, that percentage, this not done, not this is not done. In last 3 years, we have faced all the audits from GST, ESAC, PF, and regular financial audits. Currently our audit report is 2-page. So 25 page to 2-page. And so this is the benefit of implementing the systems. And for us, system is like our God. So we won't deviate the system, come what may. Sometimes customer lines are throttled for some time. But we request them, please give us 1 hour because all the systems are to be followed. We'll feed your line in time. There is a lot of discussions happen within PPC and all these departments. So all this is done through the systems. So these on the connectivity and IoT. This is a very important topic for today's discussion. So why IoT? Like, why to get the real-time information? Because investment in the technology is huge. We invested almost 70 crores in last 3 years in technology, mainly on the robotics and all. Like Mr. Menon said, if you don't use the technology right way, it's a dual sword. You lose from both the sides. So we implemented this IoT system in our company. So this basically helped us in improving our cycle times, production quantity. Every time there is a change, somebody will tell 200 bana, somebody will tell, nahi, sir, 200 nahi, 150 hi bana hai. So what do PPC man tell the customer? So everybody should talk the same language, so data should come only from the system, and system data is correct, whatever it may be. If it is 100, then customer requirement 200, let's say it is 100 only, because nothing is going to change. 100 is not going to become 200. So all false practices like bluffing or not telling the truth, all these practices stopped. But we faced huge problem of people leaving the organizations. People don't want to deal with the transparency. They want to hide the issues. They want to hide the things. And they also want to hide that they don't have enough knowledge to deal with the processes. But we said it's okay for us. We want to follow this path, and we are currently going in that transformation phase. Many of our old people who didn't get aligned to this thinking left the organization. But youngsters who are fresh, they are ready to listen, and we are taking them on board and giving them the responsibilities. The average age which is to deal with majority processes went down from maybe 50 to 30. So that is a benefit. So we got a lot of benefits by implementing this IoT. So I'm not going to go into details of this. So this, you must have, we already saw this, we implemented OE. So this slide is very important. All of us would be facing the similar kind of issue. We have got so many departments, HR, production, maintenance, etc., and everything needs to talk to each other, okay? Like my fellow friend was talking, we cannot have multiple systems, but my understanding that we will have to deal with multiple softwares, we'll have to deal with multiple databases, and we'll have to figure out how we can connect those databases. So we are currently using these two systems, SAP at its core, and our own software, which is developed, which we call it as a KWS. It keeps on talking to all those functions on almost like real-time basis. Production is real-time basis. All other we have decided a frequency. So this is the IoT dashboard. I'll try to show you the real-time. We are connected 550 equipments on our dashboard. We faced a lot of issues, especially on the technology area, wherein technology is not made in India. Data access is not available. They don't give the data access. So they want you to buy their own softwares for IoT. So we struggled a lot. We worked with one of the PLC company. We bought their SCADA system, and software is built by us as our dashboards. And we are very proud that we have connected all of equipments, whether it is Indian or imported. I don't want to name the companies. It is not good. So we found our own way of getting the data from the system, and we are getting all real-time data. I'll try to show how the real-time data is get. So this is a dashboard, what one can see on the shop floors. So this is the real-time information what we get. This is a typical example of one of the machine, that is stamping press. You can see the machine start time, actual cycle time, total time, etc., etc. And on the left-hand side, you can see the energy consumed for the month. So in energy, we got that planned energy consumption versus actual energy consumption. There was a big difference. I'm just running out of time. Huh? Give me 1 minute. So this is the overall implement. You can see a slide on the right-hand side. So this is the benefit what we got from the implementation of IoT system. So these are overall benefits. Productivity went up by OE 13%, manpower count down by 30%, quality up by, and on cost benefit, delivery of course is 100%. I leave this presentation with the organizers. If somebody wants to get it, one can get it. It's all availability, and top management is completely free, by and large, at least me. I don't get any telephone calls for any of the things. Rest of the things are taken care by the junior people. So thank you for. So this was done as a master planning of the IoT system. Next slide. So what to connect, when to connect, which data to be captured, where to use sensor, where to use energy meter. So all master planning was done. And this is a real-time information coming from the system. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Milind. So he has showed us, in the morning someone said, Mr. Ganesh said, connecting different systems together is the most difficult task. And it has been done very, very beautifully in Yeshshree, and we are seeing the benefits of it on how from struggle to data to collecting genuine data, acting on it, and all those things has led to a success and a right visual presentation of the data which was shown live to us. So thank you very much. We have time for just one or two questions if anyone wants to discuss, or it can also be over lunch. He is available. So we would not, so it is better if anyone wants to meet him over lunch. So we would not want to stand in between lunch and this thing. It's already late. Thank you very much, Mr. Milind. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Can we have a big round of applause for enlightening us how to do a strategic roadmap to the digitalization. Thank you so much, sir. And now I'd like to request our session chairman, Mr. Prasad Mantri, to felicitate Mr. Milind Kank, Managing Director of Yeshshree Press Components Private Limited, Aurangabad. And I request both the dignitaries, please come at the center. A round of applause for the gratitude towards Mr. Milind Kank for being here and enlightening us on the strategic roadmap to the digitalization. Thank you so much, sir.